This is a hollow brick, presumably for building. This is a hollow brick that has a water god riding a phoenix. Now, presumably the eye we see is the eye of the phoenix. There we get a little closer to it. And apparently that must be part of the god riding the phoenix. This is a much larger brick. Not sure what these specific functions of these were other than decoration. But this is of a dragon. We can clearly make out the dragon's head and face, skull, if you will, right here. I'm always intrigued by the styles different cultures use. Some using deep cuts, Mayan, Egyptian, certainly Angkor Wat. Maybe it deals with the softness of the stone, but I don't know. Here another such brick with a dragon design, but notice the detail here. Some of it's worn off, no surprise. So these bricks were actually used on stairways in order to dampen sound and reduce the use of material. This one being geometric, of course. Here are some models that show us palace number 1, apparently as it was remained before its archaeological exploration. A large mound. And here's how it's projected it might have looked. The susceptibility to fire is amazing on these places, all of China's. So this is the original site as archaeologists discovered it. Here's some of the knickknacks found. Brass hinges, iron nails. Well, they're elegant looking nails, really. Iron tin nails. These look like hinges also. Yes, they are. But they're bronze painted hinges. Since we attach hinges with screws and presume that's the norm, I don't see any screw holes, so I wonder how these were in fact attached. I doubt they had super glue. Remains of a bronze door knocker. These just some miscellaneous building devices, probably to connect and hold wooden portions together somehow. This was a pottery basin found in the bottom of a basement. Seems too tall for a wash basin or a tub for children, or too small for adults, so maybe for washing, maybe for storing. Just some more of these ridge tiles, or rather edge tiles. And some geometric designs on tiles. It's always such an eerie feeling to look at the deteriorated remains, small little remains of a substantial culture. Yet imagine someday deep into the future when our mankind lands on a planet in some other system and discovers something that clearly was made by an intelligent life form. And it looks like this. How profound that will be. This is a pottery water filter. You wonder how it would actually work. I actually know of a modern kind that uses cement. Sells for $15 to the poor families in Cambodia. This photograph is of paving bricks and floor drainage in the palace. So you wonder if they had running water. I'm going to go back and start on the left side, or on the right side as we came in. I can complete that before I go to the end building. This is a pretty little display area. It gives a sense of how families could construct their inner courtyards if they chose to. I'm videoing this because of the delicate coloring on it that remains, assuming it's from the site. I don't really know if that's the case, but gives just a little hint as to how the colors might have looked more brilliant than they are now. I have to try to use my body to create a shadow so that I can avoid the glare of the light that comes in the doorway. I think these are photographs of the condition of some of the original scrolls that had to be restored. Can you imagine what a delicate, skilled job this must be to do it, as well as technologies today allow. Here a panel showing the before and the after photographs of restoration. Apparently precursors to Xianyang's large figures. Most of the figures in this room cannot be easily videoed because the lighting is so bad, so I'm going to have to deal with what I can show. You just get a hint of the variety of colors. You can see the armament outline. Here the colors are delicate now, but probably richer then. This is just a pretty setting outside the building we were in. Now we'll go to this larger building. Here perhaps are analogous building bricks that are hollow. Here's some of these huge large water troughs. I do wonder what these holes were for. Was there something that stood up on here, or was it part of a covering? Now this one has a hole at the end so it could be drained. It looks like relatively soft stone, so easily carved. Here, of course, the relief is much deeper than what we've seen before, but maybe because that was outside. Maybe that was just a different strategy or technique. Here are these protective stones, if in fact that's what they are rams. Maybe a different philosophy. I don't know what that is, what their purpose or symbolism is. This panel that I'll slowly go down through is reminiscent of the relief that was much, much older at the Muslim mosque that we saw yesterday. In this building, it's just indicated that Xianyang was the capital of the Qin dynasty, but also the graveyard of emperors of the Han and the Tang dynasties, and that here we'll see relics from the Qin, Han, and Tang dynasties. 100 relics of the more than 1,000 that were found. I enjoy the sentiments that I sometimes see. Bouncing off those sentiments, it's interesting to look at these items in a different light than what I've seen in these other museums, where there seems to be so much of the stuff that they have found. Here, presumably, these are very rare. This pig almost seems to reflect an emotion, as opposed to this cow, which seems merely to be inquisitive. This is actually a glazed dog. Example of the three colored glazed work. But the head here almost seems to be unglazed, as though it were either painted unglazed or never quite finished. Notice the subtlety of difference in color of what were apparently dominant styles. This light green, this light blue, that color, this which is called white but isn't, here green. I suspect we need to keep in mind that these might have been a style that went on for several decades, with occasional nostalgic reversions back. This is called a pottery dressing case. Maybe it contained powders or something of that nature. A couple of fairly large tile edge with dragon motif.